Hey homeschool friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another update video. And so this is probably one of the last ones I will be filming for the 2022-2023 school year. But is anyone else feeling as tired as I am? You guys, I am just worn out. I am so done. I'm so ready for the end of the school year. Let me know down below if you feel the same. And it's funny because it's really me, not so much my kids. My kids are a little bit antsy and ready for summer, but really it's me. I mean, the problem is me, honestly, is I'm having a tough time pulling it together and trying to finish out school. But as of the filming of this video, we have 4 weeks left. So really the whole of May until we're all the way done. But that's not what this video is about. This is about April and what I'm doing to try to help myself make it to the end of the year. So hi, my name is Angie. Welcome to the channel if you're new here, or welcome back if you have been coming for a while. So like I said, it's the April update video, and so I'm going to be sharing all that's been happening in our homeschool for the month of April. This includes usually a life update, family subject update, as well as individual subjects for my kiddos. So we're talking 3rd grade, 2nd grade, and preschool. So let's just hop in. Let's hop into a life update. So I don't actually really even know where to start in this area. So for our life, it's really been a challenging season with health stuff. I'm waiting on medication to start working. It's not really working, but yet we have to wait a little longer to make sure it doesn't work, if you know what I mean. And then the next potential step is a much bigger medication, which just kind of scares me a little bit. But you know what? It's okay. I'm doing fine. It will be fine. It's just making things a little bit more stressful in our lives, and especially on me, kind of the weight on my shoulders on top of the things that I already do. And so that's just challenging. But you know what? I have learned and I have grown in this season to just be able to do what I can to still stay with what we're doing, because I honestly don't do very well with the motto of like, well, if you're having lots of struggles, you should just stop homeschooling. Because honestly, over the last couple years, like there's been COVID, my husband has had major health issues, like we've moved, all these things. And if I would have like lived by that philosophy, we wouldn't have gotten any school done. So I just I can't live by that. But I can be more gracious to myself and come up with some ideas, which is what I'm going to share a lot in this video, is how I'm handling the fact that I am tired and I want to be done, but yet we're not quite done. So let me know down below where you're at. Maybe you're not where I'm at, and I really hope that's the case. But if you are, let me know down below and we can kind of do this thing together. So anyway, that's life. And then as for family subjects have been Sonlight for the past couple years, and it's still just my favorite. I really enjoy Sonlight, although there are some parts of it that I am tailoring back during this season, this kind of last push for the end of the year. And so when it comes to our history Bible literature, so for history, basically we're just finishing out the last chapter of the Children's History of the World book, because we're basically reading the first half for this year and the second half next year. So I'm finishing that out. I'm dropping all the other little history books that we have been doing. There's not that many of them. It's like the Usborne one, as well as the Kate and Mac book. We're done. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna finish out kind of where we are in time, so the timeline makes sense when we pick it back up here in a couple months for next year. As for Bible, we've kind of tailored back on that as well. We're keeping the Leaving Little Ones to God, because that's our main Bible that we read and we chat about. We've stopped with the extra Bible reading, and we've stopped with Bible memorization. That's just where we're at. That's what I need for the end of the year. And then literature, we're still reading the books because we get a lot of joy out of that. We're currently on Goonie Bird Green, which, my gosh, everybody should read this. This is just really funny. My kids have found it to be really enjoyable. It has kind of a Pippi Longstocking flair to it, like we're a girl who's telling stories, and it's just really sweet. So we have really enjoyed Goonie Bird Green, and we did end up finishing Detectives in Togas. Amazing, such a good book. My kids, like I was saying last time, I think it might be their favorite, but I will be asking them when I do our review of the HBLB. I'll ask them which read loud was their favorite, but we did finish that one, and we're reading Goonie Bird Green, and we're still reading These Two at Night, which I talked about in my March update. And so it's been an enjoyable, we're just kind of working our way through both of them. This is the Curious Cat Spy Club and The City of Ember, which I talked at length in the last video, so I won't say them again, but we are enjoying both of those. We do want to finish these because we always read a Harry Potter book during the summer, and my kids are so excited for number 4. I'm excited to read it to them too. We have that illustrated copy. So we need to finish up both of these before the end of May, which I think we can, especially if the incentive is to start Harry Potter. So those are our literature books, but we are also reading The Last Thing in History is the George Mueller book. So that's the, I'll put it up here because now I can't remember what these books are called. I'm not sure why I'm blanking on that, but we have not read any of these, like the Young Heroes. We haven't read any of them, and I'm really excited for this one. And I've heard great things about this one, so yes, we're pretty much keeping the reading. We're gonna finish up this and then read Understood Betsy, as well as George Mueller. So those are the 2 books that are really left on our plate. And then we're scaling back on a lot of the other things in our Sonlight program, including science. And so with science, we're gonna keep reading the main book because we switched into a plant unit, which has been a great fit for this time of year. Actually, I was really happy about that. We were getting a little tired of animals, or at least worn down by animals, and now we are starting a plant book. It's a DK plant book. Sorry, I didn't bring it with me. I'll pop a picture up if I think about it. But it's been good. It's been really good. But to kind of scale back and give myself some breathing room on that, we are no longer doing the activity sheets, although I have been enjoying them. But we've just, to keep it simple, we're just reading the book. But what has helped? So in terms of I've scaled back on a lot of things and taken a lot of things off my plate, there's one thing I have added, which sounds crazy, right? Because I'm having a tough time. But no, it's been such a good add. So I added the new butterfly unit study from Sonlight. And the reason this has just been so good is it's been like a breath of fresh air and just something different. Like, we are growing caterpillars, right? I feel like every child really enjoys this. We did it like, I think 3 years ago, and we're doing it again. We have caterpillars over there on the shelf that are about ready to form their little chrysalises, and my kids have been checking on them every day, and it's just really fun, really delightful. We've enjoyed the books. I'm actually planning a whole video showing how we've been doing with it, including some footage of my kids as we've been going through the unit. And so I'll be sharing that shortly in the next couple weeks once we finish it up. But honestly, that has been a really good addition to this kind of springtime school when I'm just tired, and it's been really good for my kids too. I feel like they have been re-energized by it, if you will. So that's been wonderful. But I feel like that's about it for family subjects, is HBL and science. So to move on to my 3rd grader. And so where I left you off last is our Saxon is still going well. We're working through all of our math facts. I feel like that's been the biggest push I'm pushing right now, is just because I want to get him ready for Saxon 5-4 for come next year. And we are going to finish up Saxon 3. Like, we'll be able to finish the whole thing before we are done, which is good. But I really want to hammer in those facts because I feel like that'll help. So math is going fine, and then language arts is still where it was. So I made that big switch to Logic of English Essentials, and I have a video that I just filmed, but it should go out after this, maybe the video after this, as to why I picked Logic of English and how it really fits well into our specific homeschool, the things I need, as well as some of the other programs we're currently using. So if you're interested in kind of why I made that switch, stay tuned. That video is coming. But so far so good. He's been really doing well with the program. We're finding our feet on it because the lessons can be kind of extensive, some of them, not all of them. And so I feel like for me, it's more finding where my son gets tired with this. And so I feel like we're still kind of in the process of figuring that out, but we'll get a good rhythm. So far so good though. I'm really still liking it. And I'm glad we switched here for the last 2 months of school to be able to really get a feel for it and get kind of it kicked off, and then we'll pick it back up next year. And then the rest is going about the same. So we've been using Sonlight Language Arts. I really like the creative expression, and my son's been doing really well with it still. He's still using those techniques from the diamond notes, which is just fun. Oh, one thing he's been doing more so with the Sonlight readers. I think I was sharing this like a couple months ago, where I still have to sit with him to read it. Like, once I tried handing it to him and it didn't go very well. Well, I did again, and he did great. Like, I asked him all the questions, we chatted about it. So it wasn't just that I asked the questions from the instructor guides for the readers, but I was able to like have a good conversation about it, and he read it really well and understood it. It's just amazing how much like a month or two will change things and how fast kids can just really take to something. Being that he's my first kiddo that I have taught to read, I feel like I'm excited for every milestone. So that's going really well. And then everything else is too, like handwriting and vocabulary and typing. It's all fine. It's all fine. So that's my third grader. You guys, he's doing great. I'm really proud of the progress he has made, and we're going to be doing standardized tests soon. That's actually what I'm planning for my last week in May, is to do some standardized testing and then celebrate the year, which I'll share maybe more. I don't know if I'm planning a May update, but anyway, I'll share what we do at another time. So that's my third grader. And my second grader, she's doing well too. I feel like it's kind of a similar story for her. I just feel like she's actually reached a point of where she's a little bit more tired and she pushes back and she really doesn't want to do school anymore, but her progress is really good. She's really taken off with reading. She has extra readers. She reads at night. She's reading Billy B. Brown. But I think I am planning to share a readers video because I do love the Sonlight readers, but there are some other series that my kids have really liked. One quick thing that I have changed to help me out with both my big kids, so my third grader and my second grader, is I've adjusted my schedule to help me out. So when I get like this, when I just get kind of tired and a little overwhelmed and I want to be done, I'm usually able to make it through the week okay, but by the end of the week, I'm really extra tired. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of front loading my week with things that are a little bit more important. So things like the creative expression for Sonlight, I flip-flop my days. Usually I would do like copy work first and then creative expression on Wednesday and Thursday. Now we're doing creative expression Monday, Tuesday, and then copy work either on Wednesday or Thursday. And I've done the opposite for science experiments. So they used to be prioritized to Monday, and now they're at the end of the week if we get to it. But again, we're studying plants. And what I love about that is if we can't get to the experiments, which in my head, experiments are below math and reading and language arts and all those things. So if we don't get to them, they could be fun things we do this summer, or they could be things that we just don't do this year, and it will be okay. You know, I've had to work with that, is just kind of assess the fact that I'm overwhelmed. What can I take off that will help, but what can I keep on that will allow us to finish out strong and finish well? Maybe not finish everything, but finish well. So anyway, that was a random thought before I segue into my preschoolers, which is another area that I have adjusted to help me out. So what I did when I realized I was really overwhelmed and it's not going well is I looked at what I had left for K4. So I'm doing Abeka K4. And then I looked at Abeka K5, which is my plan for next fall for my kids. And I wanted to see the overlap. And there's a ton of overlap. And I knew that about the programs. So what I'm planning for how to get us through the end of the year is I'm pretty much stopping doing preschool, or at least Abeka K4. And what we're still doing is like random worksheets out of their worksheet book for Abeka, because they enjoy that. They enjoy counting and coloring and circling the picture of the word that starts with a B, you know, those kinds of worksheets. So they enjoy those. And then the little books they enjoy as well. So we're going to go through our little books. We're going to do some random worksheets, and I think that'll just kind of keep the skills going well enough. But then the beginning of K5 extensively goes back over what they have learned. So I've decided that's an area I can let myself go. I mean, it's preschool. I think they're doing well. They're doing great. And if this helps me be able to hold it together for my whole family for the rest of the school year, then I'm okay with that. So we've scaled back on preschool, but yet we are still reading the books from the Sonlight preschool level, and those are just, they're fun. My big kids like to listen to them. They're just really good books. And so we've kept that going, and we're probably just going to keep reading throughout the summer because I think we'll have enough material to kind of last through the summer. But those are just for fun. And so it's been really good. And the twins are in a really good spot. They're preschool teachers. The preschool we send them to the afternoons on Tuesday, Thursdays, they said they're really ready for kindergarten. They're doing really well. So I'm not worried about them. I'm actually just really proud of them and impressed by them, and just allowing them to keep working on skills, but not worrying about it. So I feel like this video is not quite as concise and precise as my other videos, but you know what? That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. It's the end of the year. I feel like A lot of you can relate. Please let me know if you can relate. But that's just where I'm at, and I'm okay with that. It's a good spot. We'll make it. We'll do well. We'll finish strong because I've decided not to push myself beyond what I know I'm capable of. And so let me know down below if you're in a similar boat, or even just let me know how your April went. Maybe you're doing great, and that's wonderful. Let me know that, because I would also love to celebrate with you. So that's what I have for my update video. Get ready for all the upcoming content. I'm going to be reviewing all the programs. I'm going to be doing recaps of all the different grade levels to give you my overall big picture analysis about how things went, because I find those really helpful. And then I'm going to start doing curriculum videos early June, I think. So I've got a lot of things coming. It's so very exciting. And so I hope you all are doing well. And you guys, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to. But otherwise, guys, I will see you in the next homeschool video. All right, take care.